Hey, it's Dave, the host of the Dad Space Podcast. Hope you're doing well. It's November. We're doing daily episodes for the month of November. It's a lot of episodes. We're doing 30 in a row, everybody. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Lots more to come. And what we've done is reached out to some of our past guests, people who have written books, people who have podcasts, people who have done great things to help men, help dads. And we've asked everybody 3 questions, and we wanted to compile their responses and give them an episode each. So this today is November 13th. Why am I here? Why am I answering my own questions? Well, good question. It's my birthday today, so I thought I'd do my own episode on my birthday to answer the questions myself. Like, I want to be part of this. It's kind of a fun thing to answer these questions. So I'm here to answer the questions here on the Dad Space Podcast as the host. It's kind of fun, but I hope you're enjoying the answers so far. And again, many more to come, and appreciate everyone for participating in this crazy initiative of doing an episode every day in the month of November. And I'm actually recording this in the month of October. It's October 1st that I'm recording it, but you're hearing it November 13th. Fun. So, as a dad, I can tell you that I've done some things well, and I've done some things not so well as a dad. And as you get into your 50s, you start to realize that you're not going to be here forever, right? When you're in your 20s, your teenage years, you're indestructible. Life has no expiry date. You don't even think about what's going to happen in the future. You're just living your daily life and enjoying everything you have, and it's great. As you get older and your children grow up and move out of the house, you realize that time is your enemy. Time is working against you, and your future is shorter than it was when you were 20. And it's just a reality of life, and that's where we're at. So I know that I have some things to do with my kids to help maybe mend some fences, build up some relationships again. And I'm working on that as a dad. I think it's a thing we always work on. And the sooner we do that, the better. So that's my encouragement to you and that's kind of what I'm working through as a dad right now, is how I can build that relationship stronger and realize that I want to leave my kids more than just like money in the bank or keys to a house or all of my crap that they have to sell and go through. I want to leave them something more, and that's a great memory of their dad, a great relationship with their dad. And I want my last conversation with each of them to be a memory that's worth remembering, not a memory that causes them pain or for them to be uncomfortable or any of that. I want my last conversation with them, no matter when that is, to be positive and uplifting. Right? So that's kind of my goal. That's my mindset right now as I go through these 3 questions and answer them from my perspective to you, and join the voices of all the others this month who are answering these exact same 3 questions. So the first question, you probably heard this if you've listened to any of the other episodes, the last 12. Here's the first question that's been posed and my response. The first question is, what are some of the effective ways to manage stress and maintain mental health as a dad? For me, as a dad, I find myself tied up in work. We buy rental properties and flip them and get tenants in place. We spend countless hours working, to the point where we've had some really long days in the last few months. August, September this year has been quite stressful. And I found that anytime that I can be a tourist, anytime that I can do something outside my normal everyday thing, could even be simply as taking a different route to work, a different road that I've never been on, taking time to celebrate where I live, to look through my community through the eyes of a tourist who's never been there before, to go into that cafe that I've never been to, or go into that little shop that I have no idea what they sell. Go to these landmarks and these places that take people's breath away that I drive by and don't give 2 thoughts to. I need to live a little bit more as a tourist in life and take time to take in the beauty of what I'm around. This goes back to being in Calgary in September of this year. My wife and I went to a podcasting conference. Shout out to everybody at Pod Summit and all my new friends that I met there. But going to a new province, we went to Calgary, Alberta, I got to see the mountains in Banff for the first time. And for me, I've never been anywhere close to that area and had the opportunity to stand in front of these majestic mountains and be like, oh my gosh, like this is so beautiful. And it was great to be a tourist for a few days in another province outside of my normal. I went to new restaurants. I tried new food. I met new people. All of these things I would not do as an introvert at home. And it was good for me to do that. So for me to manage stress and maintain my mental health as a dad, I think becoming more of a tourist, whether you travel on holidays or just travel in your daily average weekly commute or your routine, step outside of what you normally do and partake in what's around you as if you were a tourist. I think that will help you to lower your stress level and to maintain your mental health. So that's what I'm trying. The second question posed to everybody this month in November is, how can I build a strong bond with my kids while also supporting my partner? I'm an empty nest dad. I have 3 adult children out of the house, all in different stages of life and careers and all of that. And I want to have a strong bond with my kids, but it's harder when they're not in the home. When your kids are small, they're all under one roof, and or you see them on weekends, however it works for you and your family. But there's a routine that you kind of have as a parent with younger children. The moment they move out of the house, it's a little bit different because you don't have them kind of around you and in your world every day, which you can take it for granted. After a while, you can just be like, I need a break from these kids. I'm telling you, as an empty nest dad, I would love to have those moments back that I really longed for, having silence or freedom from my home and to get away from the kids. Now I kind of want them back. So don't be too fast to rush through that stage of your life and feel that you want to get to the part where you can have your life back. When you get your life back, sometimes it's not as great as you thought it would be, and you're going to miss them. So building strong bonds with my kids, for me, it's trying to help them and be as helpful as I can in the different stages of their life when they make a mistake or they get in trouble financially. I don't want to bail them out to the point where they don't learn valuable lessons about what it's like to be an adult in this world. But I do want them to know that they have love and support from their family, and that I will do whatever I can whenever I can to the best of my ability to be there for them. Now, sometimes I can't. Sometimes they're going to fall on their face and they're going to learn a hard lesson. But when I can be there, I will be. That's my support for my kids, to help build that strong bond now that they're out of the house. But then at the same time, supporting my partner. I want her, my wife Jen, to feel safe, to feel like I have her back, and that when she's struggling, I can listen. I'm finding as a podcaster, I listen better now, doing interviews and talking to people and having them on my show. I'm learning how to self-edit and to be quiet and to not take over mid-thought while they're trying to explain something. It's kind of having a benefit to my marriage. And we're finding our groove again, just the two of us in this house, on how we can give each other space, but also be there at the same time. So there's a balancing act between building my bond outside of the home with my kids, but then inside the home with my partner. It's kind of a cakewalk. It's kind of something you have to be very careful on, and you have to kind of take your steps carefully. But for me, it's working, and I love that. The last question, and the question for the month of November that all of us are answering every day this month, is what practical tips or resources have helped you navigate fatherhood? I got to say, audiobooks and podcasting. For the one simple reason is I can take them with me. And when I find a great book that's an audiobook format, I love it. Because when I work at night, when I'm on my night job, I can listen to an audiobook. I can listen to podcasts. My phone's with me all the time. I can bring these things with me, and I can take a downtime of work or downtime of travel or downtime of whatever and build up my resources. I think we really need to find somebody who's further down the road than us, doing things maybe different than us, has better insight, better knowledge than we do, instead of trusting ourselves all the time to have all the answers. It's okay to not have the answer. And for me, I go and look for resources, tips, and audiobooks and podcasts, anything that can give value to me that can help me grow as a dad. And just listening to other conversations helps me to understand how I can be better. Again, I don't know what I don't know. And listening to other people, they open my eyes and my ears to things that I haven't considered or put into place before, which helps me be a better person, which helps me then to serve my family, and then helps me to be a better example to them on how they can be a better parent themselves when and if that happens for them down the road. So those are my answers to the questions for the month of November here on Dad Space. And I hope you're enjoying all of the other voices joining along this month, answering these questions. For them to take time to do this is amazing. It's nice to reconnect with past guests, past authors, past podcasters who've been on the show, friends of the show who have listened to the show. It's so great to have them come on the podcast and share their insight with you. It's so great to reconnect with them. So thank you to everybody that's participated. Thank you to you for listening. If you have any questions about Dad Space, the podcast, or myself, or anything, go to dadspace.ca. That's my website, and you'll get all the information from me and how to reach out to me. Social media contacts, everything's on dadspace.ca. Real simple. Hope to see you there, and thank you for listening to the podcast. Have a great day. Enjoy your family, and do something special. Be a tourist today. Go put your tourist goggles on and go for a walk, go for a drive, and see the world through an outsider's point of view. I think you're going to learn a lot. Thanks for listening. Take care, guys. Hey, thanks for following along on the Dad Space podcast. I want you to know that we run on coffee here, like a lot of coffee. As a person who works nights, I need to fill my cup. And I would love for your help with that. We have a Buy Me a Coffee link in the show notes. If you'd love to refill my cup, that would be wonderful. Thank you for listening to the show. Take care. Keep being a great dad. Cheers.